Hello, my name is Chris Cooley. I am a writer, philosopher, and artist of various sorts. I am an American, though I live a life somewhat removed from mass media, or at least I attempt to do so most of the time. This video is being made largely in response to a television editorial clip that I was just exposed to via the blog of a friend of a friend. It was essentially concerning so-called conspiracy theories and the accused perpetrators of them. Now, I've seen one or two editorials by the lady commentator in the past, and though I cannot agree with her on everything, I usually find them well done and entertaining at least. This time, however, I found the half-truths and accusations of other half-truth spouting accusers to be so ridiculous that I felt simply required to respond in some way. Chalk it up to my ego to not be satisfied by a mere text-based comment below, nor to even mention the particular clip or commentator in question, as I feel they are often largely interchangeable, and I'd like for this response to apply to other similar editorials in the future. Now, I apologize for having to break eye contact with you on occasion to consult my notes, seeing as I do not have the luxury of a teleprompter, but I'm trying to stay on topic as much as possible. I just wanted to take a moment to speak briefly on these so-called conspiracy theories, as well as religion, science, and the nature of reality itself. We are very fortunate to live in a time where a good many of us have access to an overwhelming amount of information at any given moment, so much so that it can be difficult to navigate through while maintaining clarity. So, in the interest of clarity, I will do my best to keep this as simple and concise as possible. I just want to remind everyone, whatever it is you feel so passionately about, you have been proven both right and wrong scientifically. Before you talk so strongly, what is it that you actually know? What is the story that you are telling? What is a story? What is a narrative? Because that is just what this is. Now, what is a true story? All stories contain some truth, but do any stories contain the whole truth? I might even argue that the worst stories have lies disguised as truth, while some of the best have truth disguised as lies. So, in that regard, consider this display of ignorance a mere story, like all the others that you have heard and will continue to hear on this day. I do not want it to seem as though I'm speaking in riddles, but the nature of truth is more of a riddle than most are willing to accept. The closer you look, the further the spiral deepens, and as with all things, including nature, her, him, or itself, I would say there's only one conspiracy, and that is the conspiracy of theory. All theories are essentially a conspiracy. What is a theory exactly? The word itself implies that a supposition was made. Is truth itself merely a theory? Now, during the editorial and interview in question, a prayer was spoken. What is a prayer? This we'll come back to in a moment, but it raises an important question that I often feel the need to speak on. What is God? Now, the word God comes from Hebrew, comes from the word gud, which means to speak or to gossip. Perhaps you've noticed some of your Jewish friends spelling God with just a GD. This is because that's how it's spelled in Hebrew. So allow me to speak or gossip a bit, hopefully not in vain, though admittedly all forms of media do include, if not require, some vanity. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in hypnosis? Do you not experience both on a daily basis? Is that not the nature of experience itself? How often are you yourself hypnotized by sound and by colors? How often are you hypnotized by concept and personality? Let us trace all things back to the Word. What is the Word? This is precisely the question. We need to take a step back and really consider each word that we choose to speak and each word that we choose to interpret. Do you really understand this word? Do you truly understand its meaning? Where did it come from? Where did you learn it from? Have you checked other sources? Google defines a word as a single distinct meaningful element of speech or writing, used with others or sometimes alone. It's a sound, or a symbol, or a set of symbols that can have so much meaning that it can cause others to fight, even kill over it. Now, a word can be a noun, a verb, even an exclamation. An exclamation for yes. But what is the word? What is truth? As defined by your head. What is in your head? Is your mind really located in your head? Is it not just as much, if not more, in your nervous system than it is in your brain? Now, your language, your experience, your cultural heritage, your sexual orientation and liberation or repression, even your economic situation and background, all colors how you experience what you consider to be truth. Now, if you want to learn about God, it seems clear to me that you should study nature, as not only is that an example of who or what God is, but it seems to me at least to be what God is. And nature, of course, includes all of us and everything we do. If you want to learn about magic, study music, mathematics, and storytelling. If you want to learn about yourself, or the soul, one should study psychedelics. Psychedelic itself even means soul manifesting, as the psyche means not only the mind, but it is the Greek word for the soul. Now I think you're starting to see how the lines between the mind and the soul are a little blurrier than some might lead you to believe. Now, the main conspiracy that was spoken of in this program was that of the events of 9/11. Now, whether 9/11 was performed by a shadowy hand, whether it be from the east or the west, or whether it was a series of flukes and happenstance, its symbolism can hardly be denied by those that are clear of eye. What if 911 did have a purpose? What if that purpose was merely to bring this debate into public discourse, so we can all actually finally discuss what the true nature of reality on this plane of existence is? The spirit, whatever you consider it to be, speaks in symbols and numbers, which are, of course, symbols themselves. What does 9/11, 911 mean? Emerge and see.